GDPR rediscovers the forgotten concept of ethics and fair play. And there is a huge thirst for in the industry and consumers of bringing back this powerful notion of trustworthiness and fair play. So it's like companies are suddenly, finally, moving from totalitarian structures or mindsets that capture data to mindsets that are those of being trustworthy and being ethical. Yeah. But let me explain this. The key significance of GDPR is that what we understood as big data now is personal data. So what we understood of big data being an asset, now it becomes a liability, a potential liability. And this is what we call this epiphany of personal data. The realization that all this data that has been spoken to of belonging to a company actually belongs to the people who created it. This epiphany, this realization of this new truth, represents a massive change in the industry. Some additional realizations of this epiphany of personal data are that personal data is only temporarily controlled or processed by the companies who collected it. The second realization is that personal data will eventually and inevitably be deleted or ported, which has impactful consequences for all big companies handling and processing tons of personal data. And this portability element will eventually have to be facilitated in automation. So personal data becomes a liability, and personal data also can be deleted, it can be ported, and this portability is going to be automated. That's a massive change. So this realization, this epiphany of personal data, that most data assets are in fact made of personal data, also provokes inevitably new tactics. And first, of course, by the big online players, and secondly, by everyone else in another imitative chain of reactions. But these online giants are already taking clear steps towards positioning themselves away from the perception of being totalitarian companies. Some of these examples are Amazon's GDPR Center and the new store controls to manage your browsing history, where the user controls if data is to be or not to be personalized. Zalando, another big online giant, has the GDPR Alliance in pursuit of a single personal data point of access. And Google Cloud has also a lot of initiatives from Google My Activity, which is old, and new trends of personal data interoperability. What is the position of Empathy Broker in this ecosystem of GDPR and transparency? We have made a core principle to the company, the principle of transparency and transparency by design. And this is the way we navigate compliance into opportunity. Transparency by design provides also a powerful tool, which is a core part of the principles of digital empathy. And to summarize, as more complex profiling processes intervene to calculate what the user sees, so information about the involved logic rightly feeds the perception of fairness and honesty. So in other words, when you apply the principle of transparency to personalization systems, to sophisticated signal model processings that are fed from personal data, you expose with clarity how and why a feature does what it does. Showing to the user or to the person behind that user what you know about them not only complies with GDPR within the reality of e-commerce, of course, but also empowers the user with a sense of control, with a sense of trust, And from this sense of control and this sense of trust is in turn where loyalty is obtained. So that's our approach to transform the basic compliance into an opportunity.